Authorities fear that more than 30 people have likely been killed in a massacre in the remote Sepik province of Papua New Guinea. PNG has been hit by periodic outbreaks of violence over recent years, but the latest apparent massacre could be a worrying signal that violence is becoming more widespread. Foreign Affairs reporter Stephen Jejets is following the story for us and joins us now from Parliament House in Canberra. Stephen, hi there. What are the details of this latest massacre?
Look, the details are still in some ways quite unclear, but even those bits of the jigsaw puzzle that we're able to put together from a great distance are horrifying. It sounds like at least 26 people have been massacred in at least 3 separate villages. That, however, could rise. We are expecting that death toll could top potentially 30, perhaps even 40 or 50 people. Certainly, authorities in Papua New Guinea fear that 26 is probably a bit of an underestimate. Now, who's responsible? According to police in PNG, it's a gang of young men, probably around 20 or 30 in number, who have been going from village to village, in some cases massacring people, in other cases raping women, in other cases setting buildings on fire. What's the cause of it? It's not entirely clear. There might be an element of opportunism here, but the root of the conflict does seem to be in disputes over land and over waters in this region. Now, this isn't a part of Papua New Guinea which is often hit by tribal violence. It has happened before. We saw it in 2019, but it's not typically as widespread as you find up in the highlands of Papua New Guinea, where there have been periodic bouts of instability. But it's obviously a horrifying event, and the full magnitude of this is still not entirely clear.
What are the authorities doing?
The authorities are hoping to get in there. This happened last week, I should emphasise, Lorna. We're only finding out about it now because of the remoteness of what's happened. So authorities are now trying to get in to try and work out exactly what happened, how many people have been killed, and then to try and bring those responsible to justice. But the sheer remoteness of this location does make that task difficult, and police say that it's taking a fair amount of time just to get information back from this part of the country, let alone trying to respond in any meaningful way. They're also hoping to calm tensions in the area, with police going from village to village, trying to work out what's at the root of this problem and trying to find solutions.
Stephen, what do you think this says about the state of law and order in Papua New Guinea at the moment?
Well, sadly, Lorna, it's another reminder that law and order remains very fragile in Papua New Guinea. As I mentioned, we've seen several instances of tribal violence in the highlands, but this sort of scale of a massacre, whilst not unknown in the Sepik, is rare, and it's a worrying sign. What you're seeing across Papua New Guinea is an intensification of long-standing tribal or clan disputes, which have been magnified by often a shortage of resources. So you've had long-standing disputes, but they've been magnified because Papua New Guinea's population has grown at such an explosive rate. That puts more pressure on resources, which exacerbate tensions, which tragically has at times ended up in horrifying instances of violence like we're just learning about properly today.